Hey warriors, stop trying to be liked. Every time you chase approval, you lose power. Every time you over-explain yourself, you signal weakness. Every time you react too fast, you hand control to someone else. Think about that for a moment. Every single time you need someone to validate your decision, you are leaking power. Every time you justify yourself to people who never asked for an explanation, you are making yourself smaller. Every time you let someone else's reaction dictate your next move, you are not the one driving. And most people do this constantly, without realizing it, without understanding what it costs them. They wonder why people walk over them. They wonder why they are not taken seriously. They wonder why the respect they work so hard to earn never quite arrives. And the answer is always the same. They have been giving it away. The most dangerous people you have ever met never fought for your respect. They did not ask for it either. They just had it. Automatically, effortlessly. That is not magic. That is not luck. That is a specific set of habits, mindsets, and disciplines built deliberately over time that create a presence so solid that respect is the only natural response to it. That is what we are building today, a ruthless, unshakable aura. Like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this. Let us begin. Type this in the comments right now and claim it as yours. I own my presence. Truth 1. Weak reactions destroy powerful men. Let me ask you something honest. Think about the last time someone said something that got under your skin. Maybe it was a rude comment. Maybe it was disrespect disguised as a joke. Maybe someone dismissed you in a meeting or talked over you like you were not even there. What did you do? Did you snap back? Did you get defensive? Did you go quiet but spend the next 3 hours replaying it in your head, getting angrier with every replay? Most people react. That is the problem. And that reaction costs them more than they realize. Your reaction is a window. The moment you show it, people see straight through to your insecurities. They see your pressure points. They see your triggers. They see exactly where to push to control you. And the moment someone knows how to control your emotions, they hold power over you. Not physically, emotionally. And emotional control is the most complete kind of power one person can have over another. Marcus Aurelius wrote something that completely changed the way I think about this. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Sit with that for a second. The event itself does not damage you. What damages you is the meaning you attach to it. That meaning becomes a story. The story drives the emotion drives the reaction, and the reaction, unfiltered, knee-jerk, impulsive, is what exposes the crack in your armor. It is a cycle, and powerful people break that cycle deliberately. Here is what the most respected, most feared, most admired people in any room do differently. They pause. They breathe once. They choose their response instead of having a reaction that chooses them. That pause is not weakness. That pause is the most powerful thing you can do in a charged moment, because everyone around you is watching. And what they see in that pause is someone who is in control of themselves, someone who cannot be rattled, someone who does not need to prove anything immediately. Think about a lion watching prey in the tall grass. It does not jump at every sound. It does not react to every movement. It stays low. It watches with full attention. It measures the situation. And when it decides to move, it moves with complete precision and full force. That is the energy you want, not the nervous dog that barks at everything. The lion that waits and then moves once. People who react immediately to every provocation look desperate. They look like they are always on edge, always defensive, always one comment away from losing it. And that kind of energy repels respect. The person who stays calm when everyone expects them to explode, that person commands a room without saying anything. Now here is the part most people miss. Controlling your reactions does not mean suppressing your feelings. It does not mean faking peace when you are furious. It does not mean acting like nothing bothers you. You are human. Things will bother you. People will disrespect you. Life will throw situations at you that are genuinely unfair and genuinely frustrating. But there is a massive difference between feeling something and broadcasting it. You can feel anger without becoming anger. You can feel hurt without performing hurt for an audience. That is emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is what separates people who get walked on from people who get respected. Here is a simple thing you can start doing today. When something irritates you, give yourself 3 seconds before you respond. That is all, 3 seconds. That gap is the difference between reaction and response. A reaction is automatic. A response is chosen. Do it consistently and something powerful happens. People try to get a rise out of you and they get nothing. They try to bait you into drama and you give them silence. And when you give people nothing, they become uncomfortable. They start to wonder what you are thinking. They start to question their own power over you. That shift in their head, that uncertainty, is exactly where your power lives. Your calm is your weapon. Start using it. There is one more layer to this that most people never consider. Controlling your reaction is also about what you do after the moment passes. Because some people learn to stay calm in the moment, but spend the next 24 hours stewing, venting to anyone who will listen, building a case in their head about how wrong the other person was. That is still a reaction. It is just delayed. Real emotional control means processing and releasing. Feel it, understand it, then put it down and move forward. Carrying old grievances into new situations is a weight that slows you down invisibly. It colors how you speak, how you show up, how you interact with people who have nothing to do with the original situation. The person with a truly ruthless aura does not carry old battles into new rooms. They deal with things cleanly and move on with full energy. That clean energy, uncluttered by old anger and unresolved hurt, is a large part of what makes their presence so powerful. Process fast, release completely, move forward fully. If you are done reacting and ready to respond from power, drop this in the comments. I respond from power, never from panic. Truth 2. Never let them see you sweat. There is a rule that cuts through every level of life. Business, leadership, relationships, competition. Never show the struggle publicly. This does not mean pretend life is easy. It does not mean fake a smile when everything is falling apart. It means you control what you put out into the world. You decide what people see. You decide what impression you leave. When you are stressed, your body tells on you. Your voice gets tight. Your words come faster. Your eyes move around instead of staying still. Your jaw locks up. Your movements become rushed and small. All of that is information, and in the wrong hands, that information becomes a tool to use against you. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught something that most people hear and immediately forget because it sounds too simple. He said, "Seek not that the things which happen should happen as you wish, but wish the things which happen to be as they are, and you will have a tranquil flow of life." Most people go to war with reality. Things do not go as planned and they spiral. They complain. They broadcast their stress to everyone around them. They look for someone to rescue them or someone to blame. And every time they do that, they are sending a signal. I am not in control right now. And once people receive that signal, they adjust. They test more. They push more. They take more. The people who hold real authority, whether in a boardroom or a family or a friendship, are the ones who appear to have it together even when they do not, especially when they do not. This is not deception, this is leadership. Leadership is the decision to carry the weight of a situation so others do not have to feel it as heavily. Think about what happens on a turbulent flight. Passengers look to the flight attendants. If the flight attendants are calm, passengers calm down. If the flight attendants look scared, the whole cabin starts to panic. The actual turbulence did not change. The visible response to it did. You are that flight attendant in every room you enter. People read your energy to calibrate their own. If you project chaos, chaos spreads. If you project control, control spreads. Here is a practical technique. When something goes wrong, when you feel the stress rising, when the situation gets tense, slow your speech down by half the pace you want to talk at. Take one visible breath before answering. Slow speech signals authority. Fast speech signals anxiety. People process tone before they process content. Before they hear what you are saying, they feel how you are saying it. Keep your posture open, shoulders back, chest forward, hands visible and relaxed. Keep your face neutral, not cold, not forced, just settled. Like someone who has been through enough to know this too will pass. Over time, this practice does something extraordinary. You stop pretending to be calm. You actually become it. Because your nervous system learns that it can handle difficulty without falling apart. It builds a track record of surviving hard things, and that track record becomes a kind of inner confidence that nothing else can manufacture. People feel that kind of calm from across the room. They are drawn to it, they trust it, they defer to it. Because in a world where most people are one problem away from unraveling, someone who stays steady is rare, and rare things are powerful things. There is also something important to understand about the long game here. When you consistently show up composed under pressure, people start to assign you a different category in their minds. You stop being someone they have to manage or worry about. You become someone they rely on, someone they bring their own problems to, someone they defer to. That shift happens naturally. You do not have to ask for it. You do not have to announce yourself. You just have to keep showing up steady when others are shaking. Do that enough times and the room begins to orient around you without you saying a word. Compose yourself, then let the room reorganize itself around your calm. And remember, this is a skill, not a personality trait. Some of the most naturally anxious people alive have learned to project extraordinary calm under pressure because they practiced, they drilled it, they built it the same way a musician builds technique, through repetition in low-stakes situations so it is available automatically in high-stakes ones. Practice being composed when small things go wrong. Your coffee order is messed up, traffic makes you late, a plan changes at the last minute. Use those small irritations as training ground. They are the reps that make the muscle available when the real tests come. The real tests always come, and when they do, you will be ready. If you are choosing calm over chaos starting today, write this below and mean it. No one sees me shake. No one sees me doubt. Truth 3. Your body speaks before your mouth does. Before you say your first word in a room, people have already decided something about you. That is not speculation. It is well documented in psychology. People form first impressions within seconds of seeing you, and the vast majority of that impression is not based on what you say. It is based on how you carry yourself, your posture, your walk, the speed of your movements, the steadiness of your eyes, the expression resting on your face when you think nobody is looking. All of it is communicating something right now. The question is what? Most people are accidentally broadcasting one of two things. Either they are nervous and unsure, which shows up as rounded shoulders, downward eyes, fast fidgety movements, and a general sense of wanting to take up as little space as possible. Or they are performing confidence, which comes across as stiff, exaggerated, and clearly manufactured. Neither one creates presence. Neither one builds an aura. The people who have genuine presence move through life differently. They do not rush. They do not shrink. They do not try to fill every silence with nervous energy. They take up their full space without apology. They hold eye contact like they have nothing to hide. They walk at a pace that says they know exactly where they are going, and they are comfortable taking their time getting there. Seneca wrote, "Retire into yourself as much as possible." What does that mean for the way you carry your body? It means your energy is contained. You are not leaking nervousness into every room. You are not performing for approval. You are simply present, rooted, still. There is a specific kind of stillness that powerful people carry. It is not passive. It is not lazy. It is controlled readiness, like something that does not need to move to prove it can move. Here is an exercise that will change how you see yourself. Stand in front of a full-length mirror and just watch. Watch how your shoulders sit. Watch what your face does when it is completely relaxed. Watch how you walk from one side of the room to the other. Most people are genuinely surprised when they do this, because we carry a mental image of ourselves that is often very different from how we actually look to others. If your shoulders are rolled forward, pull them back and down, not like a soldier, like someone proud of the body they live in. If your eye contact breaks too fast, practice holding it one full second longer than feels comfortable, not staring, just steady, confident, present. If you walk fast and rushed like you are late for everything, slow down. Take longer strides. Let your feet land with intention. Move like each step is a decision. If your resting face is tight and closed, relax your jaw deliberately. Let your expression settle into neutral, not forced happiness, not a frown. Just open and calm. These adjustments feel small. Their impact is not small. And here is the deeper mechanism at work. When you change your body, you change your mind. When you stand like someone who holds power, your brain starts to align with that posture. Your internal state follows your external presentation. This is not fake it until you make it. This is using the body-mind connection intentionally. Your physiology and your psychology are in constant conversation. Shift one and the other follows. Build the physical presence first. The internal confidence will catch up faster than you think. There is one final thing about body language that almost nobody talks about. The way you treat your own space communicates your worth to others. When you shrink, when you fold into yourself, when you make yourself small to avoid taking up room, you are telling people around you that you do not fully believe you belong there. And people believe what you show them. If you show them someone who apologizes for existing in a room, they will treat you accordingly. If you show them someone who occupies their space with ease and without apology, they adjust. They make room. They accord you the gravity you project. Start now. Occupy your full space. Walk through every door like you were expected, because the truth is, you were expected. You have been building toward this. Every decision you make to show up more powerfully, to carry yourself with more intention, to communicate through your body that you belong exactly where you are. All of it is preparation for the version of yourself that the world has not fully seen yet. Give that version the physical expression it deserves. Stand tall. Move deliberately. Take up the space that is yours. And do it every day until it is no longer something you have to think about. Until it is simply who you are. Say this to yourself before you walk into any room today, then drop it in the comments. I let my body talk. Truth 4. Detachment is the ultimate form of dominance. This is the one that is going to challenge everything you have been taught. Here it is, plainly. The person who needs the outcome the least holds the most power in any situation. Take a moment with that. In a negotiation, the one who needs the deal more is already in a weaker position before a single word is exchanged. In a relationship, the one who cares more deeply while getting less in return always suffers more and gets respected less. In an interview, the candidate who is visibly desperate for the job almost always loses it to someone who walks in like they already have options. This is not cynical. This is how power actually functions between people. Neediness is repelling, not because people are deliberately cruel, though some are, but because neediness signals a lack of options, and people at every level, consciously or not, are drawn to those who appear to have choices. Because options mean freedom, and freedom is power. Now here is the distinction that matters. Detachment is not the same as not caring. Detachment is not coldness. It is not indifference to life or to people. Detachment means caring deeply about your mission, your standards, your values, while releasing your grip on any single specific outcome. It means giving your full effort and then letting go of whether the result goes your way. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When you are desperate for something, your judgment blurs. You make decisions from fear instead of clarity. You accept things that are beneath your standard because you are too afraid of losing the opportunity. You stay in situations that drain you because leaving feels too risky. But when you operate from genuine detachment, when you honestly believe that if this particular thing does not work, something better will come, you move through the world with a completely different energy. You are relaxed, you are clear-eyed, you are willing to walk away. And nothing communicates power more effectively than the willingness to walk away. People who can walk away from deals, from relationships, from situations that do not serve them are the people who ultimately get the best deals, the best relationships, the best situations, because they do not accept less. And the world adjusts to meet people who hold their standard. So how do you build genuine detachment? Not the performed kind, the real kind. You build options. Genuine detachment requires genuine alternatives. If you only have one source of income, one relationship possibility, one opportunity in front of you, your desperation is real, and it will show. Build your skills so multiple doors open. Build your financial position so you do not have to take whatever is offered. Build a network so you always have somewhere to turn. You practice releasing outcomes. This means doing your best work with complete commitment and then genuinely letting go of the result. You control the input. The outcome is not fully yours to control. Accept that. Focus all your energy on the process and release the attachment to what it produces. You raise your minimum standard. Desperate people accept whatever comes. People with presence have requirements. They know what they will not tolerate, and they act on that knowledge. Every time you walk away from something that does not meet your standard, your sense of self-worth grows, and that growth shows in the way you carry yourself. Here is something that will challenge your thinking. Most people believe that needing things and people is a sign of depth, of how much they care. But there is a crucial difference between loving something and needing it, between valuing someone and being unable to function without their approval. You can deeply love your work without needing every project to succeed. You can care about a relationship without losing yourself when it is uncertain. You can pursue a goal with full intensity without making your self-worth contingent on the result. That distinction, loving versus needing, is where detachment lives, and mastering it is one of the most quietly powerful things you will ever do. Detachment is a practice. The more you build it, the more genuinely free you become, and genuine freedom produces the kind of aura that people feel and cannot quite name. There is also a spiritual dimension to detachment that the Stoics understood deeply. When you stop needing things to go a specific way, you stop suffering when they do not. And when you stop suffering over things outside your control, you free up a massive amount of mental and emotional energy. That freed energy gets redirected into what you can actually affect: your work, your growth, your relationships, your discipline. This is the paradox. Detachment does not make you care less. It makes you perform better. because you are no longer divided. You are not pouring half your energy into worrying about outcomes and the other half into the actual work. You give the work everything, and then you let go and see what comes. The most powerful version of yourself is the one that moves without desperation, that negotiates without need, that loves without losing themselves, that works without attachment to recognition, that gives without keeping score. Build that version deliberately. It starts with the honest question, what am I currently clinging to that is costing me my power? Name it. Then practice day by day, loosening the grip. If you are ready to stop chasing and start leading, put this in the comments right now. I detach and dominate. Truth 5. Build a name that walks into rooms before you. Your reputation is working for you or against you right now, whether you are paying attention to it or not. It is the thing that moves through the world on your behalf when you are nowhere near. It is what people say about you in rooms you will never enter. It is the impression that exists before you speak, before you act, before you prove anything. And in many situations, your reputation is more powerful than your actual presence. Most people are passive about their reputation. They hope it is good. They assume the good outweighs the bad. They cross their fingers that people are talking kindly. The people with the most formidable auras treat their reputation like the most valuable asset they own, because it is. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Decide who you are, then act like it without exception." That is reputation building in its purest form. Here is what most people get wrong about reputation. They think it is built in the big moments, the presentations, the promotions, the public wins. But your reputation is actually built in the small moments that nobody is watching. When you said you would follow up and nobody would have known if you forgot, did you follow up? When you had a chance to cut a corner that nobody would catch, did you cut it? When someone who had nothing to offer you needed help, did you show up for them? Those moments do not feel significant, but they compound. Every decision you make in private shapes the person you become, and the person you become shows up in every room, in every interaction, in every relationship. Your character is your reputation, and your reputation travels ahead of you. Before you walk into any meaningful situation, a job, a business deal, a new relationship, people have usually already heard something about you, from someone you know, from social media, from word of mouth, from your own past behavior that rippled outward without you knowing. That pre-existing impression opens doors or closes them before you even arrive. If your reputation says you are reliable, that you show up, you follow through, you do what you say, people give you chances they would not give a stranger. They extend trust. They open access. If your reputation says you are inconsistent, that you disappear when things get hard, that you talk more than you deliver, no amount of charm or charisma will fully overcome that. People remember. People talk. And the gap between what you claim to be and what you actually are eventually becomes visible to everyone. So build it deliberately from today, not by marketing yourself loudly, by being someone worth talking about quietly. Be the person who does more than was asked. Be the person who arrives prepared. Be the person who takes responsibility when things go wrong instead of pointing fingers. Be the person who keeps confidences. Be the person who follows through on small things because you understand that small things reveal character, and guard your reputation aggressively. One public moment of dishonesty, one betrayal of trust, one significant inconsistency between your words and your actions can unravel years of careful building. People are slow to give trust and fast to withdraw it. The world will test your reputation regularly. Situations will come where holding your standard costs you something: money, comfort, convenience, popularity. In those moments, hold anyway. Because every time you maintain your standard when others expect you to drop it, You add something to your reputation that money cannot buy. Over time, your name starts to precede you, and that is when something shifts in every room you enter. You do not have to announce yourself. People already know. There is also a side of reputation that people underestimate. The reputation you have with yourself, the way you privately regard your own character. Because that private self-image leaks into everything. You cannot project strength and integrity externally while privately knowing you cut corners, told half-truths, or acted in ways you are not proud of. The internal and external eventually align. Always. The gap between who you are in private and who you perform in public closes over time. And it closes in the direction of who you really are in private. So if you want your external reputation to be unshakable, build your private character first. Be someone you respect when no one is watching. Everything else follows from that. Your name is being built right now. If you are serious about what it stands for, write this below: I build my name. Truth. 6. Discipline is the foundation of every ruthless aura. Everything we have covered until now is built on this. Discipline, not motivation. Motivation is a feeling and feelings change. Not inspiration, which comes and goes with no predictable schedule. Not talent, which is inherited. Not luck, which cannot be controlled. Discipline. The decision to do the right thing regardless of how you feel about it today. Because here is the truth about aura that most people never hear. Aura is not a feeling. It is not something you were born with. It is not something that magically appears when conditions are right. Aura is the visible accumulation of invisible habits. It is what shows on the outside after sustained work on the inside. It is the residue of 100,000 small decisions made in private, to wake up, to show up, to push through, to keep going when stopping would have been easier. Marcus Aurelius, who was one of the most powerful men who ever lived, did not rely on his title to build his presence. He worked on himself daily. He wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." Discipline is always a present tense activity, not what you will do tomorrow, not what you did last month. What are you doing right now, today, this hour? Think about the most disciplined person you personally know, not a celebrity, someone in your actual life. What do they have that others do not? They keep promises to themselves. That is the whole thing. That is the complete difference. Most people are consistent promise breakers to themselves. They commit to waking up at 6 and hit snooze at 6:15. They commit to the gym and talk themselves out of it by afternoon. They commit to finishing a project and spend 4 hours doing everything except the project. Every one of those broken promises does something invisible but devastating. It chips away at your self-trust. And without self-trust, you cannot build an aura that other people trust. Because people feel how you feel about yourself. Not in the words you say, in the way you hold yourself. In the certainty or uncertainty in your voice. In how you respond when challenged. In whether your actions and your words match. When you have kept your commitments to yourself, when you have done the hard thing day after day without an audience, a quiet confidence develops that cannot be faked and cannot be bought. It is earned confidence, and earned confidence is the only kind that builds a real aura. Here is how to start building it. Pick one commitment, not 10. 1. Something small enough that you can actually do it every day and significant enough that it requires genuine effort. Wake up at a fixed time every single day. Exercise for 20 minutes without exception. Read for 30 minutes. Write for 15. Meditate for 10. Whatever it is, one thing, daily, no negotiation. Then keep it, not for a week, not until you feel better. Keep it as a non-negotiable part of who you are. Here is what that one sustained commitment does. First, it builds the actual discipline muscle. Every time you do it when you did not feel like it, the muscle gets stronger. Second, and more importantly, it builds internal proof. Evidence that you are someone who follows through. Evidence that stacks every single day. And when enough evidence has accumulated, when you have months of proof that you are someone who does not quit on themselves, something inside you shifts permanently. You carry yourself differently. You speak with a different kind of certainty. You hold your position more easily in difficult situations because you know something about yourself that most people do not know about themselves. You know you will not stop. You know that when things get hard, you keep going. You know that you have been through difficult days before and you did not fall apart. That knowledge is the bedrock of every ruthless aura. Build it daily, protect it fiercely. Let no one and nothing take it from you. One more thing. Discipline is also about what you say no to. Every yes you give to something that does not serve your growth is a no to your own development. Every night you stay up too late when you committed to early mornings is a small betrayal. Every time you give your focused hours to distraction instead of to your most important work, you are choosing who not to become. Say no more. Protect your committed hours. Guard your energy like it is the fuel for the life you are trying to build. Because it is. The people who build the most powerful presence are almost always the people who have the strictest relationship with their own time and energy. They are not perfectionists. They miss days. They have failures. But they return every time, without drama, without lengthy periods of self-pity. They simply return to the discipline and keep building. That return, that consistent return after every stumble, is the real measure of discipline. And the people watching can feel it even if they cannot articulate it. If discipline is the identity you are choosing from today, claim it in the comments. Discipline defines me. Truth 7. Decide who gets access to you. This rule might be the most important one in the entire video. Most people treat themselves like an open door, always available, always answering, always ready to drop everything when someone calls, saying yes to requests they should decline, giving their evenings, their weekends, their mental energy to whoever asks for it. And then they cannot understand why people do not value their time, why people do not respect their boundaries, why they feel drained and powerless even when they are working harder than anyone around them. Here is the answer. You have trained people to expect unlimited access to you, and things with unlimited access have no scarcity, and things with no scarcity have no perceived value. Your time is the rarest resource you have. Your focused energy is rare. Your undivided attention is rare, but only if you treat it that way. Seneca wrote, "It is not that I am brave, it is just that I am busy." The people with the most formidable auras, the ones who are universally respected, universally taken seriously, are deliberately inaccessible. Not to everyone, not all the time. But access to them is not automatic, it is not assumed, it is earned. You cannot reach them anytime you want. You cannot pull them into every conversation, every conflict, every drama that arises. They are selective, and that selectivity is not rudeness, it is self-respect. It communicates that their time and energy are worth something. When someone is always available, you start to take their presence for granted. You expect them to show up because they always do, and what is expected has no power. But when someone is selective, when their showing up means they chose to show up, their presence carries weight. Their attention feels like something given, not taken. And what is given freely by choice is always valued more than what is simply assumed. Now here is how to start building this in real life without becoming cold or cutting people off unnecessarily. Start with your mornings. The first hours of your day are the most valuable hours you have. Your mind is fresh. Your willpower is at its peak. Your focus is at its sharpest. Give those hours to yourself and your most important work before you give them to anyone else. Do not start the day by checking messages. Do not start by responding to what other people need from you. Start by doing what you need to do for yourself. Then engage with the world. Next, look honestly at your relationships. Who in your life adds to you? Who consistently drains you? Who challenges you to grow? Who keeps you in the same small patterns? This is not about being cold or cutting people out carelessly. It is about being conscious, about recognizing that your energy is finite and where it goes matters. Invest deeply in the relationships that are genuinely reciprocal. Limit your energy in the ones that only take. This is not selfishness, it is sustainability. You cannot give from an empty cup, and you cannot build a powerful presence while constantly running empty. Then look at your emotional access. Who do you allow to affect your internal state? Whose opinion do you let live in your head? Not everyone who has something to say about you deserves space in your mind. The person who barely knows you and decides to criticize you, they do not get that space. The former friend who talks behind your back, they do not get that space. Random people on the internet whose entire existence consists of tearing others down, they absolutely do not get that space. You decide who gets access to your emotions. You decide whose words carry weight with you. That decision is an act of power. And when people realize they cannot easily rattle you, when they see that their words, their opinions, their attempts to get under your skin do not land the way they expected, your perceived power grows immediately. Mystery is magnetic, restraint is powerful, and the person who controls access to themselves controls the energy in every relationship and every room they occupy. And here is the final piece of this. When you guard your access consistently, when people learn that your time and energy are not automatic, that they must be earned, something shifts in how they treat you. The interactions you do choose to have become more valued. People prepare more for them. They bring better energy. They are more present. They show up more intentionally because they know you do not give your attention freely. So when you give it, it means something. That is the kind of relationship dynamic that only comes when you respect yourself enough to decide who deserves a seat at your table. Not everyone gets a seat. And that is not cruelty. That is the foundation of a presence that people feel, remember, and genuinely respect. Your time is valuable. Your energy is valuable. If you finally believe that, put this in the comments. I guard my access. Now here's the important truth. We have covered a lot today. Controlling your reactions so you respond from power instead of panic. Staying composed under pressure so people feel safe following you. Using your body language to communicate authority before you say a word. Detaching from outcomes so you move through life with genuine freedom. Building a reputation that travels ahead of you into every room. Holding your discipline as the daily practice that builds real presence from the inside. And guarding your access so your time, energy, and attention carry weight. None of this is complicated, but all of it is hard. It is hard because the world around you pulls constantly in the opposite direction. It pulls you toward reaction, toward desperation, toward over-explaining and over-apologizing and over-giving yourself away. And most people follow that pull for their entire lives. They spend their whole lives trying to be liked and never quite feeling respected, trying to prove themselves and never quite feeling secure, working hard and never quite building the presence that makes their effort undeniable. But you are not most people. The fact that you stayed through this entire video says something about who you are and what you are building. Let me say something directly to you. The aura we talked about today, the ruthless, magnetic, unshakable kind, it is not built in a day, and it is not built by reading or watching alone. It is built by decision after decision in your actual life, in the real moments, in the hard ones, when no one is watching and quitting would be easy. Those are the moments that separate the people who have presence from the people who talk about wanting it. The person with the ruthless aura is not born. They are built, brick by brick, choice by choice, day after quiet day. Every time you pause before reacting, you lay a brick. Every time you hold your standard when no one is watching, you lay a brick. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you lay a brick. Every time you protect your peace from someone who does not deserve access to it, you lay a brick. And one day, sooner than you think, if you are consistent, you will walk into a room and something will shift. People will look up, energy will change, conversations will stop for just a second, and you will not have done anything obvious to cause it. You will simply have walked in. That is the aura we are building. That is the presence that bends rooms without forcing anything. The most important thing I can leave you with is this: do not wait for the right moment. Do not wait until fear disappears. Fear does not disappear. You act in spite of it, and that act, repeated enough times, becomes courage, becomes character, becomes presence. The most important thing I can leave you with is this: do not wait for the perfect moment to start. Do not wait until you feel ready. Do not wait until your life gets calmer or your circumstances get easier. They will not. Start today, with the version of yourself that exists right now, with whatever you have in front of you today. Take one thing from this video, just one, and apply it before this day ends. One decision, one change, one moment where you choose differently than you would have before. That is how it begins, and it never stops building from there. If this added something to you, hit the like button. It costs you nothing, and it helps this content reach people who need it. Share it with someone in your life who is ready to step into their power. And if you are new here, subscribe, because we go deep on this channel every single time. I will see you in the next one.